So you're really feeling like if I was here and I kind of put you on a plane or slant down to that ball line, that elbow is just traveling.
It's traveling on that plane. Stop dropping your arms like this and do this instead.
All right, Milo, so nice shot, by the way. Henry Fall, Milo Lines, we're back out here at beautiful Superstition Mountain. I see you got a Gbox on, a little device that's helping you with your trail elbow. Not something you usually struggle with, but getting that trail arm and elbow a little more in front of you. So one pattern we tend to see a lot of, and I actually got a head cover on here because this is something we've been using for a while, but we've decided to upgrade.
Yep.
So we got the Gbox. Really, really helpful tool and device to get our hands and arms tracking a little bit better, right?
For sure.
The other thing I kind of like about it is that because it's sort of a belt, you have to almost flex into it a little bit.
Yeah, if you fire your hips, it's really easy to have your arms on the wrong side of the box.
Yeah.
Very fast. So in order to be able to get the arms where we want them out in front, this trail hip needs to flex a little bit.
It's kind of a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, you get a lot out of this. This is a good training device.
Because this is a pattern we see a lot, is whether it's the arm going back in the backswing getting stuck, or conversely we see the hands and arms just kind of like dropping or lowering, getting that elbow almost into that right pocket, right? We see that a lot too, where now you're kind of blocked out to the right. You can hit a lot of like sort of scoopy hooks from there. So maybe that's something you guys are familiar with.
So what I see is the culprit oftentimes is a player's idea that they need to lower this left arm down their chest a lot. Well, I got two hands connected, and so if my left arm lowers down that direction, you can see where my right arm goes into a trapped position right away. It's like, oh, I'm trapped.
Yeah, everything's blocked.
Now you're blocked.
It's almost like the chest is really blocked. It's just setting you up for a really in to out path.
For sure.
And there's a few good players on tour who have that pattern. You know, you think of Jim Furyk, he was definitely more.
Yeah, and a guy like Sergio, who's got the club a little more laid off, his arms come down more, so it can match up. It's generally, for me, not my preference because of what it does to the rest of the system. I'm more of a fan of a hitting pattern like a hitter in baseball would use, and you would never see a hitter in baseball take their arms and drop them way down.
Yeah.
They turn more into this arm this way.
And you would go ahead and to the top again, you would rarely see this trail shoulder work internally.
It would never.
It would almost always work under or a little more external, if anything.
It might not work that external because of what we see happening in the bends of the body, but it's definitely out front of that box.
Can you show them that face on? Like he just said, one thing to point out is we don't need to necessarily like drive that elbow or get super external in our opinions. If you just feel like it's not getting deep to begin with.
Yeah, so it stays a little more in front of you, and then it works a little this way with the rib cage. That moves the arm out in front enough.
Yeah.
And you can see how the lead arm is not going that direction, coming down.
So you're really feeling the down more from your chest being down, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's how I create. The down is created by aiming this down.
Yeah.
That's for me, not getting my arms to drop down.
Yeah. So you're feeling more of that dynamic, more of a systematic lowering. And almost like the hands and arms, like if we're on the ball line here, it's almost like your hands and arms are actually going a little bit towards that ball.
Yeah.
They're not going down towards like your right foot or your pocket, which we so often see. It's like a straight pull down. You tend to see that with sort of a slide and tilt. The combo I see, that's hands down, left shoulder up, and I see it all day. It's like a teeter-totter, right?
Yeah. I feel like my arms swing level relative to my center. So if I'm turning, my arms feel like they're moving level relative to my center, and I just aim my center down there.
I like that. All right, Milo, let's hit another one and see how this contraption's working for you. Nice. So are you feeling at all like inhibited by that?
No, for me, this is not in the way. It's something that I do fairly naturally. However, I do see lots of good players who this is in the way.
Okay, so let's say you guys at home are watching and they're struggling with this. They see their trail elbow really behind that seam line. So if I take this out, you have your shirt seam line and the pan. They kind of, if you tucked your shirt in correctly, they're kind of lined up.
They're in line, yeah.
First, let's talk about how we would line that Gbox up. So if you guys are training, or the head cover, if you want to just use a head cover like a 3-wood or driver head cover.
So we're basically putting it so the front of the box is in line with, see that seam on my pants? And that seam runs right up my shirt, so that the front of the box is right there.
So I would put the head cover like through my belt.
And generally you have a belt loop that's right on the seam, and so that's going to be...
So like kind of like that. Yeah. And I might have it kind of tucked out a little bit. And we've done this with some students. You guys might have seen it with the Fast Eddie series. Yep. We had a student that we worked on this with. Okay, so now we have it lined up correctly. So are we just first swing full out, just miss that thing?
Definitely not, because you'll probably not miss this thing. And so, your arms, if you're a player who tends to be a spinner, whose arms kind of pull down and fall this way.
Show them that face on. Oh yeah.
You'll be on the wrong side of the box, and it'll be a challenge at first.
Okay, so why don't you show them sort of a good training session they could go through, a little ladder for this exercise or this training aid.
First we're going to work on how we wind up. So we're going to make sure we're not pulling our arms into the box early. So we're going to wind the chest, and now we're going to work on the transition, how we let our left arm kind of stay up, fall down, deliver, and now we can just touch the ball smoothly. Something like that. And so you're just really feeling smooth and a new motion where you're not going to spin your hips and hit the box.
Go up to the top for me. So you're really feeling like if I was here and I kind of put you on a plane or slant down to that ball line, that elbow is just traveling.
It's traveling on that plane.
Again, you're not really feeling like it's driving. You're just feeling like it's all moving together systematically, right?
It's all kind of a unit. Mm-hmm. The way my body is turning and bending is moving that arm out in front for me. I'm not necessarily driving the arm independent.
Nor are you feeling like if I was here and this was like glass, that you're shattering that glass. You're lowering or dropping your arm.
I don't feel like I drop my arms. I don't ever feel like I drop my arm. To me, my arms feel like they hit this way.
Yeah.
I just aim them that way.
Pretty simple to think about, I guess. So now we've done a couple slower ones. Let's see one a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe a little more flowing where you have that feel down through impact. Good. So you just start to ladder it up. And can you hit full swings with this? Absolutely. Should you hit full swings with this your first time out with it? Probably not. Okay.
Probably not in the first 5 minutes, but you'd probably be able to get to full swings fairly quickly. It's not a complicated exercise, but it requires a total motor pattern change for many.
Yeah.
So you're going to really be feeling some new things in order to miss this box.
Oh, maybe you should just go play golf with that thing.
So let's kind of wrap this up, give you some really clear feels that will help you learn how to get your trail arm out front. And to do that, I've picked up this PVC pipe. We're going to use it as if it was a baseball bat. So if I'm here loaded, what I really want to feel is I want to feel like I'm turning this triangle. You can see my left arm is staying up, my right arm is getting under, and it's nowhere near touching that box when I do that. It's not going to touch the box.
Yeah.
It's going to get out in front naturally. And so that would be kind of a baseball feel, and then we can take that same feel and gradually, so if I start with it kind of waist high there, now we can lower it to knee high to ball high, and just feeling the same feeling is going to help you create the correct bends in your rib cage, keep you from dropping your arms down.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like we could go into detail about the hips and the knees and the chest and the rib cage, but like the way you explain it there, it's like, okay, I feel this and then I just get it down to there.
And everything works the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. Can you show them that face on real quick? Because I think that seeing it face on from my vantage point was really helpful. You can see how that system unwinds. It's, he's thinking about hitting a baseball, it's coming in right here, so it's a little more level.
Boom.
And then he figures out how to get it down to the ground.
So we'll start chest high, boom, waist high, boom, knee high, and ground.
And that Gbox just kind of becomes invisible.
Yeah, I don't know.
If anything, the more I use it, the more I feel like I'm just using it to like as a
hip hinger.
A hip hinger, yeah. It's something to kind of remind me that, you know, I can kind of flex into it. Like I'm doing an ab workout a little bit.
It keeps you from spinning. So the one thing you can't do is fire your hips, because if you actually fire your hips like this, you'll have a hard time. You get on the wrong side. Yep. So you want to really feel that little bit more squeeze down into the ground. That gives you clearance for this right arm.
Nice. Okay, one more for good measure.
Okay. Woohoo! That one was perfect.
Hey, Purina. I like it. I finally got your elbow in front after all these years.
All these years. Finally figured it out.
Just had to get a Gbox.
There we go. Hopefully you all love this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Go out and get yourself a Gbox. It's a really good tool. I think it gives some really nice feels, things that you're not going to get from many other devices.
If not, you can use a head cover, of course. I mean, or another simple exercise you can do at home. You're not hitting balls, but take your left arm, put it under your right tricep, your trail tricep, and just make some air swings, keeping that arm a little more in front of you. I'm not driving it, I'm just moving it systematically. It's sort of with me. So nice, simple feel you can do as well there, but definitely a great tool. Definitely highly recommend it. So thanks for watching, guys, and come on over to milolinesgolf.com where we can help you guys one-on-one, and you'll learn our Swing Like an Athlete system. Take care.